Have you ever thought that a small act, which may seem insignificant to you, can change someone's entire life? This story is about a moment when an ordinary man in a small cafe opened the door to two abandoned children. And 22 years later, the reward for his life was such that the entire city was amazed. If you believe that the power of kindness can truly work wonders, this story will touch your heart. Snow had wrapped the entire city in a white sheet. The streets were empty, only a strong gust of wind and the faint sound of a signal could be heard in the distance. Ice was frozen on the windows and everything had a cold stickiness to it. The light inside the cafe was dim, and James Whittaker, who was only the chef and waiter at the time, was wiping the tables with tired hands. His hands were chapped, there were food stains on his apron, each stain telling a story. The small doorbell rang softly. James turned around, and two children stood before his eyes. A boy of about 11, wrapped in heavy clothes, signs of fear and hunger in his eyes. A girl of about 6, small, clothes torn, trembling, nothing in her hands. They stood clinging to the glass of the door, as if they had become ghosts. A strange prickle struck James's heart. It was not pity, but recognition. He himself had seen hunger and loneliness in his childhood after his father left. James immediately opened the door and said, "Come, you are safe here." He set out 2 bowls of hot soup for the children, so hot that steam rose on the windows. The boy was cautious at first, but gave a piece of bread to his sister. The girl's small hands were trembling, but she approached the bowl. James watched them silently, moisture in his eyes, hope in his heart. For an hour the children were busy eating. James also put extra sandwiches and some cash in the bag and said, "You can come any time, there's always a place for you here." The children didn't come back that night, but their faces were forever etched in James' heart. James had seen many hardships in his life. His sister was addicted to drugs, and James took care of her. He raised his niece, sacrificing his dreams for her education and happiness. The cafe made a name for itself over time, and James bought it and renamed it Whittaker's Haven. The cafe became more than just a place to eat, but a refuge, a community center, and a support center for people in need. James still cooked every meal with love, a smile on every table. James' niece went to college and the connection was lost for several years. The nights were often lonely and empty. But James didn't give up hope. Hope was the only thing that gave his heart the strength to live. 22 years later, one cold morning, James was preparing food in the kitchen. A strange humming sound was heard outside. He looked out the window, and a glamorous black Rolls-Royce was parked in front. A young man, Elijah, and a woman, Anna, came out. Their eyes were reminiscent of children who once fought for food. Elijah said, "You may not remember us, but you saved our lives." Anna said, "I was the girl you gave soup to. We never forgot." Elijah had become a successful tech entrepreneur, and Anna a pediatric surgeon. Both dedicated their lives to helping people, and it started with a small act. They gave James the keys to the Rolls-Royce, forgave the rest of the debt, promised to donate $2 million to expand Whittaker's Haven and build a community center. The townspeople wept with joy. James' sacrifice and hard work were finally recognized. This story teaches us that every small act matters. One person's kindness can change an entire society. Hope, sacrifice, and love pay off in time. Write in the comments, what was the kindest act a stranger did for you? Your story could be hope for someone else.